also data leads, as well as from Internews. So a group of 250 people across the country have been selected, have been training on this particular thing. And till date, there are around 25,000 people who have been trained and been certified by the Google India to conduct this particular workshop across the country. Next slide. Just go. I'll go. Thank you. Okay, so just to give you a brief introduction about what Factshala is all about, and also to let you know what is the main importance of this particular webinar, is to make you people understand about the nitty-gritties of, as I told, about the information literacy. And as I told, we are a partners and we have been certified by the Google.org and also Google News Initiative. The main purpose is to engage the audiences and also to assess the information in a very critical manner, and also to evaluate the information in a better way. So just to give you an information, first and foremost thing is about the information. Everybody knows that how important information is, irrespective of the subject what people are studying. I'm very happy that the management students have come forward and also have been doing the things right from the scratch, organizing things. All these things are very much important for a student's life, because this is where the stepping stone is all about. But it's not only about the organizing skills, it's not only about the presentation, but also about how the information can be used. Because when I say information, it encompasses everything. Each and every individuals have got their own specialization. Like you people have your management. So I'm into journalism. There are people who are into science background and all, but information encompasses everything. So when I say information, it empowers the people. Okay, more information can make cripple also. So the whole thing about the Factshala thing is about to empower the citizens, irrespective of their caste, creed, or anything. So we are trying to empower you people with the information. You have information which is loaded on your mobile phones, which is loaded on your laptops, or maybe the tabs and all, but are you using this information in a proper manner? So what are the kind of information you people are getting through the mobile phones, and how is that you can navigate and put that information in a proper track? I'll be telling you in the following slides as to how this information can be what do you call kind of a threat to the society also. So when I say this Factshala community, we are a trained group of people. We have journalist people, we have many of the freelancers, we have media academicians like me, we have people from the community radio, we have community leaders who are being trained by the Factshala to carry out this, I should say, the fight against the misinformation in different parts of the country. And we have the curriculum partners. It is not only from Google, but we have many curriculum partners, such as we have been associated with Amit University and BBC News. BBC News is also one of the media organization who has been a part of this fight against the fake information. Then we have got Boom. So we have got institutes, Indian Institute of Journalism and New Media, Bangalore. So there are people who have been associated with us also. Just check. The slides. I didn't get you. Come again. Go ahead. It's there in the website. Just now I scrolled it down. All 90 slides were there. Just check it. Yeah, 91. Fine, I'll keep going. You can just see that it's been corrected. Fine, not a problem. So as I told, so we have a group of people who have been trained. And one more important thing about this particular Factshala training is it's been done in the local languages also. Okay, so in order to get into the localized thing, as we all know, India is a multicultural society. We have got multilingual people. So what we have been doing is we are also been doing this particular information to reach out to the local people also. So we have decks in around 10 to 12 languages. Even we have languages. We have deck in Kannada as well as Marathi, Bengali, Tamil, Malayalam, Oriya, Gujarati, and Hindi, especially because we have a lot of Hindi built. So majority of the content are being done in Hindi also. So we have been conducting these training classes to all the people, irrespective of their age. As I told, we have been approaching the organizations. We have been approaching the students community. We have been approaching the community leaders who can be a part of this program, and also to help them to fight against the misinformation. So as you all know, India penetration, when you look into the Indian penetration of the internet, so it is very huge. Okay, India stands at the second spot when it comes to the internet penetration. So people here is from the nook and corner of the country, and the kind of internet usage which has happened in the country is huge. Okay, so what has happened here is people have been using the information, people have been using the technology to a greater extent, irrespective of their educational background, irrespective of their cultural background. So things have been happening, but the only thing is how this information has been passed on, or how this information has been used by the people, is what the main question is. The whole session, what I will be trying to deal here is to make you students understand the importance of information. When I say information, there are loads of things which will come to on your mobile, but is it good? Okay, whether the information what you people have received on your mobile phones or maybe on your tabs, are they usable? Or where is the generation, or where is this particular content being generated from? So the whole question has to be assessed, the whole thing has to be understood by the students. The thing why I'm targeting the students community is because the youngsters, a majority of, we all know that 60% of our population are youngsters who belong to the age group below the 30 years of age, and we have a lot of hopes on these children's. At the same time, we look about our future on them. So we want you people to be on track, we want you people to use this information in a proper track rather than using it for any other kind of a purpose. Problem agidya? Just go ahead. I'll go ahead then. Live. Okay. So this factual, as I told you, we have earlier what we used to do is we used to target this only on the metropolitan cities, but now we have trickled down to the other cities also. We have been targeting the B cities, A cities. So I've been trained from Karnataka. So there are 5 to 6 members who have been trained from Karnataka, and I'm one among them. And I've been targeting the Mysore city. I've been targeting the in and around districts of Mysore. Apart from that, we are also eligible to conduct the classes anywhere in the country. So this is about the Factshala training. So first thing is, let us understand, as I told, I just have one more information. Okay, fine. Okay, so the main what I'll be trying to cover in this session, or what I'm trying to make you people understand, is about the power of the information, why information is, what information is all about. And there has been a lot of changes in the scenario of information. So sikkidellanu nimge suddhi anta helak agadilla. Okay, whatever the things which comes on your mobile is not information. So there are people who don't even know the differentiation between an information and a misinformation. So to also to speak to you about the consequences, what are the consequences which is happening due to this information, especially the online context. Okay, when I speak about the online content, okay, how you'll know in the coming slides, you'll be understanding what are the threats this information has. You may not be aware of that, but in the coming slides, you'll be able to understand. So let's understand what information is. So when I say information, irrespective of your subject, again, I'll be speaking from the perspective of a general public, and also from the perspective of a democratic setup like us, where we have the people from different background, different economical background, cultural things and all. So for any kind of a progress, we need information. But what is the kind of information is there that is important? So here, any person without an information can't respond to the situation very effectively, until and unless, just because I'm speaking to you because I have information on this Factshala, because I've been trained, because I can speak about it for hours together, because that is what the experience speaks. In the same way, for anybody to have an information and also to pass it on to the people effectively is very much important. So you need to understand the information, then you need to respond to the situation in a proper manner. So this is what the good information. When I say good information, there are many things which come under the context of the good information. It can be to help individuals to grow. It can be about evolving yourself, because as an individual, as a child, I was different. As a youngster, I was different. As an academician, I'm a different. As a daughter, I'm a different. So things is, information keeps changing. You try to evolve yourself from one stage to the other. So like as management students, so you know how things were at your undergraduate level. Now you know what is at the PG level and what is going to happen if you get into the research or if you become a professional. So each and everything, it help you to evolve in a better manner. So good information speaks about evolving the personality, and making, ultimately it has to lead to a good society. Okay, so we are trying to make the society in a very knowledgeable society. At the same time, we want you people to be more informed, because any person without an information is considered to be a very big zero. For example, if you have done your MBA course and if you are not able to understand what are HR practices, or what you people don't know anything about the marketing, that means you're a big zero. The thing is, only your degree doesn't matter, or only your attendance in a college or in a university doesn't matter. It is about the skills, it is about the techniques, it is about the technology, what you people have learned. So this particular factual will tell you about how you're supposed to make use of a proper social media thing. So where do you usually get information from? And many of my students or many of the participants always say it's not only about newspaper, it's also about social media, because nowadays people do have access to information from all these things. It can be your traditional media, or it can be your Twitter, it can be your social media. So information keeps flowing to you people from each and every corner of the thing. People don't depend on televisions nowadays. People depend on WhatsApp University, because they think whatever the information comes on your WhatsApp is real, is thing. Okay, so I'll be telling you how it is. So this is what overloaded information is. So the real challenge for any individual today is to face the challenge. Okay, so it's not only information what you people are receiving on your social media, but it is a whole lot of misinformation. In the coming slides, I'll tell you what misinformation is all about. This is just a small thing about how things have changed, and you'll be shocked to know that 50% of the Indian population does use internet. Okay, people may not have food to eat, people may not have educational background, people may not have work, people may not even have a proper house to live. The standard of living is too low. You know how the below the poverty line, how the people have been staying in India, but still people do have access to internet. So that is one of the important thing. That's not only, I would say, it is having a mobile or using an internet doesn't mean that you are a developed country. Okay, but how the content has been used, for what purpose you're using the information is what matters. Okay, so just to give you a small anecdote, and also to give you a small data about the social media scenario, which you may not be aware as management students. Everybody goes through Google, everybody uses your Twitter account, your Instagrams and all. Just look into the pictures there. Every second, there are around 70,000 plus search which happens on Google. When we are speaking right now, around 10-15 minutes we started. So just imagine per second, there are around 70,000 search which happens on Google across the country. And more than 50 crores blogs is what is being written. People are getting more and more personalized. Okay, people doesn't want to know what he or doing or what she is doing. People want to know what Sapna is doing, what Sumangala ma'am is doing. The thing is, everybody is getting more personalized. Okay, and we also have 35 crores of photos which are being uploaded on Facebook every day. Everybody uses, I'm a Facebookian, I'm always into Facebook because I use this particular medium for my documentation, because I want to retrieve the information. I want to use this information for my future studies, and also that's the reason why I use it. So in the same way, there are 35,000 crores photos which are being uploaded every day on Facebook. And 50 crores of people use Instagram stories. Many of those participants here will be using the Instagram. You may be uploading your stories. Just imagine there are 50 crores people doing along with you. Then 6,000 tweets. I don't know how many of my students does tweet here, but 66,000 tweets is what you get every second. It's not a minute, it's not a thing, but it's every second. So why everybody are so going gaga over the social media? So the question here is, it's not only about the pictures, it's not only about the data or the statistics what I've been sharing, and it is the upgraded one given by Google at the end of 2020 September. So why we need this information? Okay, because the thing is, everybody here is a publisher. Okay, so you are not being controlled to post whatever, because it's my space. Okay, we have our freedom of speech and expression. So anybody wants to put a cut on the thing, we say it is my right to be informed. It is my right. It is my personal space where I can dictate things, where I can write anything. So what has happened is everybody has become a publisher. Okay, so you are a publisher, I am a publisher. So everyone who owns an account on the Facebook or an internet or an Instagram, you are a publisher. So what has happened? People are not aware as to what is that they're going to post. Okay, so always understand that whatever comes and looks there is not a news. Okay, for you, it may be a news. For me, it may be a news, but not for everybody else. For everybody else, it is completely different. So you need to understand that there is a huge lot of difference between this traditional media as well as the social media. Okay, when I say traditional media, in newspapers, the television, people used to think, Okay, people maybe there is a statistics which says that people have stopped watching television and the readership of the newspapers have come down a lot because people get all your information on social media today. Okay, so the only thing is on social media, there is no verification. There is nobody who can tell you that what Sapna has posted is right or wrong, or whether what Sushma has written is right or wrong, because there is nobody to check the facts. Okay, so whatever you send, you depend on their face value. Just because she is my friend, just because it's my ma'am, you try to accept whatever is being written. So the main thing here is we want you people to understand that whatever comes on your social media doesn't constitute a news, doesn't constitute a thing which can be understood, which can be passed on, or which can be assessed also. Okay, just imagine giving a small example. You people might have seen like this. So you'll have any of the personality, next to that personality you'll have some quote every day morning. It can be our Mahatma Gandhi, it can be our Vivekananda, it can be anybody, it can be even Mr. Donald Trump also. But the thing is, whatever comes along the picture is not a fact. Okay, anybody can do it. Okay, do you think that it is being said by Abraham Lincoln? Do you think it is being said by Mahatma Gandhi? Nobody knows. But where the question here is, anybody can create it. Anybody can recreate a thing, put a wording cell next to a particular picture, and you might have seen it on your good morning messages. You might have seen it on your good night messages. But is the content apt? Who is the person who has verified whether it is being said by Abraham Lincoln or not, whether the quote comes from Mahatma Gandhi or not? The very fake thing starts from this kind of content which comes on your mobile every day. So this is the very starting point of where the fake news content starts. Okay, so when I say, so who does it then? Okay, fine. And the next question is, there are a lot of people who does that. Okay, there are three categories of people whom you usually see. One would be a creator, then you have the consumer, then you have a distributor. The creator is the one who will be sitting on any part of the world. I don't know, he may be sitting in Nepal, he may be sitting in Sweden, he may be sitting in Switzerland. But there are people who can create anything. He or she is a creative person. He or she has got some content to be spoken, or he or she wants to tell something to the world. Okay, I told you, everybody is a publisher. So nobody is going to restrict you. So there are people who sit and create these kind of content. But whether Mr. A or Mr. B who is creating this content are creating a content which is usable? No. Many of the content which is being created are bad. Many of the content which are being created wants to dissect the society. They want to bring about a kind of a division in the society. So this is what we are supposed to question. So there are people who are very good in creating. You might have seen the people who are doing vlogs. A lot of vlogs are being written nowadays. Okay, that's the one part of the people. Okay, you don't know who has created that. It comes to you. Just to give you an example, I keep telling that because I'm an RCBN. I always speak because as soon as we lost the match in the semi-final match against the opposition team, so it happened that we started getting the trolls. So we started getting the pictures, we started getting the memes and all. So I don't know who created that in such a jiffy. Okay, so what happens here is there are people who are known only to create such kind of a content. That's one part of it. Okay, you may not be a creator, I may not a creator because I don't have time to sit and do that. But there are people who are meant only to do these kind of activities. Then second are the consumers. Fine. Okay, Mr. A has created it. He sends it to somebody. He sends it to my family group. Okay, then I automatically become a consumer because I haven't created it, but I look into it. I understand it. I see it. Okay, I like it. I laugh at it, or may I cry at it, whatever be the thing. But I consume the content without the knowledge. Okay, because it is my personal mobile. It is my personal Facebook. It is my personal WhatsApp. So whatever comes to that, I usually consume that. That's also fine. But we not only consume the thing, but we distribute it. Okay, we forward it to a family group. I forward it to my 256 group. I forward it to my class group, my gym group, my teachers group. So what happens? It keeps multiplying. Okay, so the main thing here, it is not only about the content, but what is the kind of content you are sharing? Are you sharing only the good content? Are you sharing the negative content? That has to be questioned. So we are creators, there are consumers. At the same time, there are also some distributors who do this work. So when you do this, then what are the consequences? So you need to look into this aspect. Is very much important because I need to understand that information is not only about the development. Information can also be very destructive. Okay, so this is just an example to tell you about because everybody does use your Facebook and your WhatsApp, and WhatsApp has become one of the mostly used. Okay, in India there are only three things which we use. One is Facebook, one is WhatsApp, and one is Instagram. The Indian population uses these three social media more than anybody else in the world. Okay, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, as well as WhatsApp. So these are the three things. I'll just give you some small example as to why this can become a threat to the society. One is that the information which comes to you can be a false information. But have you ever cross-checked that? Just to give you an example, there was 2 years back, there was a false thing. Even now during Corona also, you might have received a lot of information. But just to give you a case study about around 2-3 years back, when there was an incident which happened in Bangalore and all over the country, where there was a wrong message, or there was some message which was being created stating that northeastern people, or that is the northeastern people, are these child abductors. Okay, they said that they abduct the child, or they kidnap the children from any part of the country, and they go sell them in the prostitution, for if they are girls, or if they are boys, they have been pushed into begging and all. So this was a very small rumor. Somebody created it because they had some kind of a ill thing about the northeastern people. I don't know. So somebody put that in the particular message. It was been WhatsApp, or you know how things get viral nowadays. So that happened. You may believe it or not, 47 people have lost their life just because of this small rumor. It was a very small tactics what a person had done because of his personal thing. Okay, so now it is very easily, it has been traceable. But the thing is, 47 people lost their life just because of this small rumor, which was not at all true. People from every part of the country wanted to go back to their northeastern states. Manipuris wanted to go back, because as soon as they see a Manipuri in Bangalore, people used to beat them up. Okay, they used to think that everybody northeasterns are child abductors. Okay, so these are the kind of things which have been happening. Just to give you an example of this Corona, very recently in Iran, there was a rumor, and there was a particular thing which was doing rounds on the WhatsApp. It said that if you drink alcohol, it is going to control Corona. You're not going to be affected by Corona. Okay, that was a rumor. I don't know which scientific person or which doctor did this, but it was just a rumor, because you sit and do a lot of things on your mobile, right? People don't have work. I told you, majority of the people who generate this content are the people who don't have work to be done. So there was a rumor which was been sent on the WhatsApp message in Iran, and the repercussion was that people believed it. It said that if you drink alcohol, it is going to kill COVID, and you're not going to be affected. You may believe it or not, 700 people have died because of excessive drinking. Drinking alcohol doesn't kill you, but excessive drinking does. Okay, so women, pregnant women, old age people, children. Okay, they didn't die of Corona, but they died of the misinformation which was been given, saying that it will help you to cure Corona. Okay, so and even the Supreme Court of India ordered a session saying that you should read out that fake news and fake news and the panic will destroy more lives than coronavirus. That was on March 30th. March 23rd, we all went into a lockdown. The nation went into a lockdown, and the kind of information which was coming on your mobiles, you must be knowing it. Everybody had become a doctor. Everybody had become a Ayurvedic doctor at that particular time, giving the examples. This, do that. Okay, start clapping your hands. Okay, start lighting the diyas. Okay, that is how the coronas will be going. But the thing was, even educated people like us did follow that. When an educated class like us, or an academic exposure students like you can get into all those things, just imagine the plight of the people who are completely rural, who are completely tribal. So the main question here is not only to address these kind of issue, but at the same time to make you people much more aware, and also to tell you there are different kinds of things which comes into it. And as I told, the reason why people are getting onto this or hooking onto this social media or WhatsApp is because it creates panic. Okay, the first and the foremost thing is you want to create a panic in the society. Okay, people are not thinking very constructive. People are not thinking about the development. People are thinking more how you can divide a society, how you can bring in kind of panic in the society. So there have been many of the information which does round in the WhatsApp, and ultimately it damages the very fabric of the society, which you are not aware, which I am not aware. Okay, maybe I'm not been affected by WhatsApp. You may not be affected by the WhatsApp, but there are many people who have lost their life. You might have seen how people have been committed suicide live. Okay, so just imagine that you shouldn't think only about yourself. You shouldn't think only about the people around you. It's about the society at large. Okay, I know that you can't change the society in a larger sense, but at least being a teacher, I can change my students, I can change my college, I can change my society, my family. So this is how it trickles down to the society. But rumors are an important thing. Just take up this example. I'll not be able to play the video, but I'll just want to tell you that this particular video went viral a few days back before the corona, obviously, of course. And this was a thing which said that children are being abducted by Bihari people. Okay, the thing, okay, there was a caption. I've just cut down the captions there. Okay, so it said that children are being abducted by the people, especially in Delhi, streets are not safe. Okay, people as the children below the age of 4 and 5 have been abducted. Okay, that was a video which went on viral. So the same video was played in Bihar, the same video was played in Delhi, it was played in Bangalore, but the name kept on changing. Bangalore city not safe, Delhi streets not safe, Bihar is not safe, that thing and all. Okay. So what happened was, when we did the fact check, okay, when the fact check was being done, it was found that it was not a real video. It was a doctored video, and the original video was originated from Karachi. Okay, so Karachi mein, there had a public service advertisement which said that keep your children safe. Okay, and it was a public service advertisement created to create an awareness among the people. But what people did, they took up that video, they doctored the video, they edited the video and started using it for their own personal purpose. So this is what is happening on your WhatsApp. This is what happens on your Facebook, which many of us may not be aware. The lynching started. People started looking at the Biharis in some way. They started treating them as terrorists. So one small video like this will create many other kinds of things. Okay, many kind of problems are also being done. Okay, so people are very vulnerable. You need to understand about these things. So I'll not be able to do this. Okay, let's take up the type of information. When I say information, you know only about information. But do you know that it has been divided into two important categories? One is the misinformation and one is the disinformation. And what you people, students, what you people get on your mobiles or what you see on your laptops or what you see on your other social media content comes under this category. So maybe after this particular session, you will be able to understand why information is not only one. There are different kinds of information. The first and the foremost thing would be misinformation. So misinformation, as we all know, it is a kind of information which is false. Okay, it's a wrong information, it's a false information. But the person who receives, for example, something comes to my mobile. Okay, I don't know who has created, somebody has created it, but it comes to me as a information to me. Okay, and I tend to believe it as true. Okay, so what happens means, if somebody sends me about the Ayurvedic Kashaya, about the Corona thing, it comes to my mobile and I believe it is true. I don't know who has created it, but I tend to believe it is going to be true. That is misinformation. But there is something called as disinformation. So disinformation is an information which is false. Sushma knows that it is false. Okay, she knows that if I send this particular information, it is going to harm the society. Even then, she deliberately tries to send it. Okay, though this is what is happening in the society. People know that there are many informations, there are many videos which is wrong, which is not in the good taste of the society, which is not going to serve any purpose in society, but we deliberately want to do it. Like speaking something about a girl, or what is circulating the viral video of some rape incident or maybe some bad obscene incident. You know that is not going to serve any kind of a purpose, but you want to harm the person. You want to bring down the integrity of a person. You want to put somebody down, and you deliberately keep doing that, and that is your intention. And social media is completely, what you see is disinformation. You do things very deliberately also. Okay. So this is where the fake news come into picture. So when I say fake news, there are different kinds of fake news. Okay, you may not be aware of it. Maybe technically also people can understand. Okay, it's not only about fake news. Fake news as categories of 9 kind of fake news. Okay, I'll be giving you some examples which will make you much more easier to understand. Okay, so one is the misinformation, what I told you. Any kind of misinformation will not harm you. Okay, it is not with any harmful intent. For example, there are many memes which comes to you. There are many humorous videos which are being created by people, and it is not going to harm anybody. You see the video, you laugh at it, you share it with your friends. It's because it's not going to do anything. But there are something called as disinformation, which is controlled, which is done very creatively and intentionally to harm the society. Okay, then you have something called as an hoax, that is unscientific claims. Like during Corona, everybody, as I told you, okay, there are a lot of things where there, which unscientific claims. It is not going to be a part of any of the thing. For example, lighting a diya. Okay, just because we got a call from our prime minister, everybody wants to join hands. Okay, fine, that was good. Okay, it is nothing wrong with that. But the thing was, it was mainly to support the frontline warriors, Corona warriors. Okay, just clapping the hand or just lighting the diyas. It was an unscientific claim. But how many of us understand that? How many of the people know, educated people know that it was done only to encourage the frontline warriors? But how many people in Bihar or how many people in Karnataka, how many people in Rajasthan know about this lighting of a diya? Because for them, They said something and we are doing it. Okay, people do follow it very blindly. That's also one of the thing. Then you also have something called as rumors. This is very common, and you know how the rumors keep falling, keep coming to you. Very recently, just to give you a very recent examples, where when Kamala Harris was been chosen as the vice president of USA. Okay, so there was a video which was making rounds. Okay, they said that Kamala Harris inaugurated or came to the office with the chanting of the mantras, Gayatri mantras, that, this, and all, which was which was a rumor. Okay, when we did the fact check, we got to know that it was done way back in 2014, and it was not the present, but it was used in a very false context. False context is a situation where you use different videos at now. Okay, there was, and then you try to relate that videos with the present situation, and that happens very frequently. You people don't know about it, but when it comes to your mobiles, you just pass it on without understanding the thing. Okay, then you got manipulated content. Everything is manipulated. Photos are being manipulated, videos are manipulated. Okay, because you're good in Photoshop, you try to put somebody's body, you try to put somebody's head. Okay, how many of you can make out that? Okay, people from a creative background can understand, but just imagine the people. Okay, just imagine even educated people doesn't know the difference between morphing also. Okay, so this is about those kind of varieties. I'll tell you, I'll come to that. Then the last but not the least is the propaganda. Okay, political propaganda is what you find very much on social media. They have been using this medium or for their political propagandas and all. So there are many kind of things. What happens? Why should we control this? Okay, why we shouldn't stop these kind of, because it will break the society. When I told you, then people stop believing the information which is very true, and you try to create a confusion. Okay, and you bring out racism. Sometimes you start stereotyping the people. Just to give an example, again, just to relate it to you, when Corona thing happened, there was a rumor about Tabligis. Okay, you must be knowing that Tabligis. Okay, they said that people had been to this particular prayers. So what happened was, you started stereotyping, saying that the Corona is spreading only because of one category of people or one community of people. That means you are trying to stereotyping them. Okay, so when that thing started, you started spreading the information about all that particular community. Pictures started coming, videos started coming, people licking the spoons. You might have seen all those things. So what you do is you try to stereotype because somebody is already targeting them. It can be tribals, it can be women, it can be children, it can be disabled, it can be transgenders. There are a lot of people you try to stereotype. And this particular mobile phones have become one of the very easy medium for stereotyping. Black people are not good. Okay, Australians are not good. Biharis are criminals. Kannadigas are useless. Okay, so there are many claims which is being done. Okay, but I don't know who is going to do it, because people have been very successfully doing this. Okay, in terms of data, in terms of other kind of a thing, you are been stereotyping, especially the transgenders. Okay, the transgenders or maybe LGBT community, you are trying to stereotype them because telling them they are bad. Then there can be a lot of situation, and there can be public health concerns, and also been about integrity. Okay, when it comes to the questioning of integrity, there are a lot of things. Even now, as students of management or maybe students of the university, you know that there has been a lot of information which is coming about the reopening of the colleges. Every time the government says something, and every time they said it is not from the official government handle, or maybe the Europe hasn't told anything. So what has happened here is people are creating information. The only thing is, they know 20% may not believe it, but there are 80% of the people who are fools, literally, who can believe them. Okay, so that is what they're trying to play with the content. So where do we start? With all these kind of a background, where can we start? One and the foremost thing is, try to understand information. Okay, so every information which comes to you looks very alike. Okay, so every information will have a different goal. Okay, it can be your academic, it can be your cultural, it can be your entertainment, whatever be the thing. Every information will come from different purpose. Who has created? Understand who is the person who has created it. What is going to be the benefit? If it comes from a political party, you should understand that a political party is trying to create a vote bank, or maybe a political party is trying to brainwash them. Or if it comes from any religious institution, you should understand. The thing is, it's about critical thinking. It's about analytical thinking. Why I'm stressing more on these things is because the very purpose of education is to think critically. You just can't take each and everything which comes to you on the face value. Okay, whatever Sapna says may not be true also. Okay, so you need to cross check. That critical bent of mind, accepting things as it comes to you, has to be questioned. Questioning the system, questioning the very purpose of the social media, questioning the teachers. There is nothing wrong in that, because the only thing is you are trying to find very good answers. So that is what the whole thing is all about. So you try to listen to people, you try to understand certain things. At the same time, the outcomes are very different. Okay, it's not only about one, but it is different outcome. And even when I say types of information, there are different kinds of information which comes to you. It can be in the form of an advertising, it can be a publicity, it can be an opinion, it can be an entertainment. All information can be under this category. Okay, so don't think that everything is a news. It can be a publicity also, or it can be a propaganda also. It can be entertainment for some people. So you need to understand that information goes in different things. But when you look into the social media context, these are the three things what you usually find. First is an advertisement. Majority of the information which comes to you is an advertisement. Second is about propaganda. They want to propagate something which they want you to believe on certain things. Last but not the least is the news. And everybody thinks that whatever comes to on the mobile or whatever comes to you on your social media platforms is a news, but that's ultimately wrong. It is an advertisement and it's a propaganda. Just look into this picture. I wanted my students to reply there, but if you can just put it in the chat or something would be better. Maybe the students sitting next to me can answer. You just look into this picture. Can you just tell me what comes to your mind as soon as you see this picture? Any one of you can answer me, because I can't speak to my people there on the thing. Or if they can unmute themselves and they can want to answer, they can answer. Okay, ma'am thinks, okay, that's a structure. Okay, fine. Anything else? What strikes you when you as soon as you see the picture? Okay, yes. Okay, ma'am says tricolors. Ma'am says Leaning Tower of Pisa, one of the monuments of the thing. Okay, fine. Then anything else, students?
All have the flag color.
Okay, fine. So ma'am says yes. Sumangala ma'am says okay. That is our perception. Fine, accepted. Okay, Qureshi sir, can you say something? What comes to your mind? Or maybe any of my students. Yeah, Sushma, you can answer. Anybody can answer. As we are sitting here. Okay, for you it's a flag. Fine.
We are trying Statue of Liberty with the Indian flag.
Okay, fine. That's what I said. Okay, fine. Okay, so that means.
Peru statue, welcome Peru statue.
Okay, fine. Okay, fine. Anything else?
Why that Indian
Govindraj, what do you see when you look into that picture? What comes to your mind, Govindraj?
Have you penetrated to these all countries? I think
Ah.
we have Dubai, we have
Okay, fine.
Egypt, we have
Fine.
Peru,
Okay,
everywhere
okay.
we have penetration.
Okay, you mean to say that according to ma'am, your name, doctor? Dr. Swati feels that, okay, what is being penetrated? What is being penetrated?
See, in Dubai, we have most of the people working.
Okay, you mean to say that the reason why this is being portrayed like this, because there are many Indians in these particular cities, and that's the reason why the monuments, important monuments, have been lit up like this with the Indian tricolor flag. Okay, fine. Anything else you can come up with, girls? Fine. The thing is, see, now I got 6 to 7 answers. 6 to 7 answers have been different. It's not the same thing. Okay. But actually, this is not a real picture. Okay. It is a fake picture. Okay. Which was made. The very purpose is to tell about the nationality, to speak about the Indianness, to speak about telling that all the important monuments of the country, monuments of the world have the Indian tricolor flag. Okay, to tell them that Indians are growing that way. But the thing is, it was a fake content. It was everybody saw the picture, but none of you people saw who has shared that on their Twitter handle. Yeah, who is Kiran Bedi? Oh, okay, she is an IPS, India's first women IPS officer. Other than that, anything else? At present, she is the the governor, lieutenant governor of Pondicherry. Fine, that's okay. But the thing here, understand. It's blue tick here. It's a blue tick. Okay, that means it's on our original Twitter account. Okay, but what happens here is this is completely a propaganda. People who are following Ms. Kiran Bedi, or maybe people who are a part of a particular political party or a particular bent of mind, they know that they wanted to project the country as everybody loves Indian. Okay, everywhere the Indians are there. But the real thing here is it's about political propaganda. Okay, the political propaganda here speaks about how things can be manipulated for your own mileage. Okay, ಎಷ್ಟು ನೀವು ಮ್ಯಾನಿಪುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಜನಗಳಿಗೆ ಇದು ಮಾಡಬಹುದು, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಏನ್ ಅನ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಫ್ಲಾಗ್ ನೋಡಿ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಕಡೆ ಇದೆ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ. ವೈ ವಿಲ್ ಸಂಬಡಿ ಹೋಸ್ಟ್ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಫ್ಲಾಗ್ ಆನ್ ಲೀನಿಂಗ್ ಟವರ್ ಆಫ್ ಪಿಸಾ? ವೈ ಶುಡ್ ಸಂಬಡಿ ಡೂ ಇಟ್ ಆನ್ ದಿ ದಿ ಅದರ್ ದುಬೈ ಥಿಂಗ್? Okay, Burj Khalifa irbodu. Why should they do it? But how many of you have that intention to question it? So what happens here is they have been using this social media for political propaganda. It's just an example, but ultimately it was been pulled down. It was known that it was a wrong one. Okay, but people tend to believe whatever Miss Kiran Bedi has posted. ಅದನ್ನೇ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು ನಂಬ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ. Okay, people tend to believe who sends it. Okay, so that has to be stopped. And as I told, whenever there is a news, you need to understand that news has to be fact checked and it has to be verified. Okay, I'll come to it. So there are two things. There is something called as a news and there is something called as an opinion. When I asked my participants, it was their opinion because ma'am said she is looking into the Linda of Pisa. She said it's about the Indianness. Somebody told me about the Burj Khalifa and all. So different people will have different things. Whatever they told was their opinion. It was not news. And social media is exclusively used to put your opinions. It is not about the news, but it is more of an opinion. People want to listen what Sapna wants to say. People want to listen. I want people to listen what Sumangala ma'am has to say. Okay, because they are my people. So they have to listen and they have to follow the correct thing. And whether it's right or wrong, you have to follow that. Whenever you take up the information, these are the 5 things you should understand. Every information will have facts. Every information will have opinions. Every information will have analysis. Okay, because just now we did an analysis. Okay, so then you stated your opinions. Okay, some people said something else and something, it can be half information. Okay, so what has happened here is, and half of the thing is just unchecked, unauthenticated information. So every information will have all these 5 things. So whatever comes to your mobile, please see whether it's a fact, whether it's an opinion, whether it's an analysis, or whether it is an half information, or whether it is an unauthenticated information. Okay. So this is how we do. What can be manipulated? When I say social media, there are certain things which you can be manipulated. So what do we manipulate? We can manipulate images. We do manipulate real videos with false messages and false content. Okay. During Corona, again, I'm taking the examples of Corona because everybody were at home. You people might have seen it on your mobile phones and all. So there was a message where it was a Western message where a lady was about to die on her deathbed. Okay, the video was from America where she said that I'm suffering from Corona. This is my last stage. I want to thank my family. Okay, this is a very dangerous thing, this and all. Ultimately, that video went viral. Okay, just to show this is what the Corona can do. Okay, that means you're trying to create a kind of pain. You're trying to create a kind of panic among the people that if I get affected by Corona, this is how I'm going to die. But when we did the fact check of that particular video, we got to know that that video was original, but the voice was different. Okay, and it was being used on the false context. That lady was delivering the baby. Okay, she was about to deliver the baby, and the doctor has told that there has been a lot of complication and she is not going to survive. So she was sending a message to the family, to the husband for the last time using a mobile phone. What you people did, you took that particular video and you started using it in a false context during Corona by using the manipulated sound and the audio part of it. So this is what is happening. Okay, so you need to understand there are real videos, false videos. You must be very good in that. Okay, there are a lot of videos which comes into that. Okay, then deep fakes are there, misinformations are there. I'll give you some examples and case studies. It'll be easy for you to understand. Okay, so these are the things what is happening. But how many of you have the time to see whether it's a real video or not a real video? The only thing what you can do is when you know that it is dangerous, when you know that this particular video is going to harm the society or harm one particular section of people, you should not do it. Okay, that is the main intention what we are trying to do it. Okay, so why we are doing this? Because we trust the people who send it. Okay, that is my ma'am has sent, so I need to do it. Because you can't question Sapna ma'am, right? You can't question Sumangala ma'am because we look up to them. Okay, we think that whatever my teacher says, whatever my mother says, my brother says, it's the ultimate one. So the reason is the questioning part. Okay, people tend to believe the network of friends. Okay, you don't question my friend because you may lose their friendship. People don't question their teachers. People they don't question their family members because they tend to trust the source of which sent. So let me give you some small example. These are the technical terms which my students should try to understand. There is something called as a filter bubble. Okay, filter bubble is nothing but everybody uses Facebook here. Everybody know that. So as soon as you like one particular thing, or you might have liked some yoga page, or you might have liked some travelogue page, or you might have liked some Amazon, something of the fashion pages and all. Automatically, the next day, you keep getting the messages from the same thing. Okay, or maybe what filter bubble is a phenomena where the same kind of content keeps coming to your Facebook page depending upon the history of your search. It will search what Sushma has been searching all these days, what Sumangala ma'am has been searching, what Sapna has been searching. So automatically it picks up those messages thinking that Sapna may like John Abraham. So that's the reason why she keeps seeing all the pictures of him. So automatically come to my page whether I like it or not that particular day. Okay, because that is what you call as a filter bubble. It automatically picks. Sometimes you think, what is the reason why it is being coming to me? Because you might have done that searching. So that particular phenomena is called as filter bubble, and filter bubble will help the advertisers. Filter bubble will help the politicians to know that if Sapna has been writing only against a particular party, that means she is anti that. Okay, that particular party will not send. Others will pick it up and say the other opposition party will start sending them message because they think she may be pro this particular party. Okay, this is what is happening. So filter bubble is a technique where the information comes to you on your Facebook, on your Instagram, okay, depending upon the search of your history. Okay, this is filter bubble. Then you have something called as an echo chamber. Echo chamber is the best example of echo chamber is your WhatsApp. Okay, so echo chamber is where you keep on repeating the same thing. For example, in the class group, okay, you people might have put it in a class group just now saying that the class webinar is going to commence. So everybody says, are you in? So everybody says yes, 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 no, no. What happens here is the same kind of content gets echoed. Okay, so this is the best example, and WhatsApp is called as an echo chamber where you tend to, for example, family group mein, if somebody likes one particular picture, everybody have to like that picture, because by chance if you don't like that picture, the next day others will not like your picture, because you tend to have that psychology. Okay, that particular phenomena is called as echo chamber, where whether you like Sapna ma'am or not, you have to wish her happy birthday. Okay, because if not, if I see, okay, who are the 37 people who haven't wished me? So echo chamber is a situation where you try to make your opinion whether you like it or not. Okay, so this is the concept which is been working on Facebook and WhatsApp. You should understand that. Okay. So there are different kinds of misleading content online. Okay, this is very much important for you all. There are different kinds of misleading content. Okay. The first and the foremost thing is the propaganda, as I told you. Just look into this picture, students. Okay, this particular picture is being shared by Jitu Patwari on his Twitter handle. And he says, look at the picture. He says, okay, see, Jitu Patwari is the Madhya Pradesh Congress president. Okay, and he is a congressman. So he says, see, look at the luxurious aeroplane what our Prime Minister Narendra Modi has. Okay, he just posted it. So, you know, every politicians, every people will have their own followers. So what they do is without the cross-checking, so they think it is true and they keep on circulating it to others. But when we did the fact check, okay, we got to know that that picture doesn't belong to the Narendra Modi's aircraft or nothing, but it was the Boeing picture. So what happened here is that is what you call as a false context, wherein you are trying to use a picture which doesn't have any kind of a relation with the subject, but you're using for your own mileage, and politicians does it very oftenly. Okay, so you need to understand that propaganda happens this way also, and this is what you find in your Twitter. This is what you find usually, because as I told you, we don't question the system. If something comes from the Prime Minister, you tend to believe it is right. Okay, if it comes from the CM's Twitter handle, okay, we tend to believe it is right. It may be wrong also. Okay, there are many handles which have been created false. So this is one of the kind of propaganda what our politicians does, what our religious people does. You know, propaganda madbeku. It can be about culture, it can be about religion, it can be about one particular person. Okay, I can use this medium because everybody is a publisher here. So next thing, this must be very interesting for you people. We call it something called as a clickbait. But these are all the technical terms which I want you people to understand, because you're all getting educated and you will be getting into your marketing, you'll be getting into organizations tomorrow, and we need people who can handle your social media things very strictly and also very efficiently. Okay, so this is what you call as the clickbait. Okay, clickbait is a situation where, just see, you might have got this kind of a page on your Google or maybe any of the search engines, and I want to see what is this particular hotel is all about. I want to see about how it speaks about the stock. I just go and click it on the picture, but it doesn't take me to that picture information, but instead it will take me to some other page. It will take me to some other advertising agency. It will take me to some other profile, some other kind of a thing. Picture is something, but the information is something. This is called as a clickbait. So bait. Okay, you're trying to, just by clicking, you know how the world of web runs. It is depending on the click. ಎಷ್ಟು ಕ್ಲಿಕ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, how many clicks have happened, okay, whether it is 100 views agidya, 300 views agidya, ella ade tara. So what has happened here is this has become one of the important fake news wherein I just go and click on a particular button and it takes me to some other organization, so to some other profile. So this way you are trying to be garnered, or at the same time what you call, they're making a fun of you, they're making a fool of you because they want you to drag into the system. So this is one of the important thing, clickbait, and that is all very common. Second important kind of a fake news which you are not aware of. The third is called as a sponsored content. Okay, you just go to any of the page there, like this. I'm just giving an example there, BuzzFeed. Okay, where you speak about some question or you're searching some Google, search ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತೀರಾ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಒಂದು ಇದಿರುತ್ತೆ. Okay, some kind of a promotional activity. I told you, right? It can be an advertisement. Okay, so instead of going through the content, I go to there. I'll start seeing that particular advertisement. So main content bitbiಡ್ತೀವಿ. We'll go to that particular thing. So what happens here is, it is a very common phenomenon nowadays, which happens on the search pages. One click mark, you'll go to something else. Okay, and the main content only will get lost and we go to something else. That is called as a sponsored content. Especially rival companies does it. Okay, like Amazon, Flipkart, or maybe Domino's. US Pizza barta irutte. Okay, so what we do is, all of a sudden, from leaving the Domino's, we click on the US Pizza. That means US Pizza got a click, US Pizza got a visibility rather than the Domino's thing. This is called as a sponsored content, which is very common, which you're not aware. Then you have something called as satire or hoax. Okay, so then you just maybe you're not journalism students, maybe you'll not be able to aware. Times Now ge nodi enanta bardidare. Times Now is a channel, but it is Times How. Okay, LOI stands for Times of India, but it is written as LOI, Limes of India. Okay, ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರುತ್ತೆ, ನೀವು ಜರ್ನಲಿಸಂ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಜರ್ನಲಿಸಂ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಲೈಮ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಅಂತ ಯಾವುದೋ ಪೇಪರ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು ಅಂತ ನೀವುಗಳು ಅನ್ಕೊಂತೀರಾ. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್ಡ್ ಇಸ್, ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಹಾಕ್ಸ್. I'm giving a best example, but there are many companies, there are many politicians, there are many organizations who try to cheat the people like this. Okay, you know how the marketing happens. Okay, what you called as branding, how people fight for the branding. Okay, how the marketing competitions is all about. Okay, try taking up the logo, using the same kind of a color in the logo, which can manipulate the people, which can keep them in the confusion. Same kind of, just look into our news channels. Everybody use red and blue. ಪಾಪ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಟಿವಿ ಅಂತಾನೂ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, TV9 ಅಂತಾನೂ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಅಗೇನ್ ಕಲರ್ ನೋಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಓಕೆ, ದೇ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಲುಕ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ದ ಕಲರ್. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟಿಕ್ಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಬೀನ್ ವೆರಿ ಮಚ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನಿಂಗ್ ಆನ್ ದಿ ಸೋಷಿಯಲ್ ಮೀಡಿಯಾ, ವಿಚ್ ಕಮ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡರ್ ದಿ ಕ್ಯಾಟಗರಿ ಆಫ್ ಹಾಕ್ಸ್. Okay, hawks and satire is a thing where you try to play with the images, where you try with the color, okay, where you try with the thing. Sudden ಆಗಿ ನೋಡ್ತೀರಾ, ಏನೋ ಬೇರೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಹೆಸರು ಏನೋ ಬೇರೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಫೇರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಲವ್ಲಿ ಅಂತ ಇರಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗಿ FARE ಅಂತ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಪಾಪ ಜನಗಳಿಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಲ್ಲ. They take this fair and lovely because it is a manipulated one. It is a wrong kind of a product. So this is called a satire and hoax. Then you have something called as an error. Okay, error ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, now everybody are into tweeting, everybody keeps on doing the mistake ಮಾಡಂತ ತುಂಬಾ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ. Okay, this is a recent example of our Rajdeep Sardesai, one of the India's very noted journalist. You know, as in everybody knew that Mr. Our president, former president, was in the deathbed. He was suffering a lot, and he was in a critical situation. Somebody messaged Mr. Rajdeep Sardesai saying that he has passed away. Without doing a cross check, he posted at around 9 o'clock in the morning saying that, sorry, breaking news, because we are very eager to do the breaking news. Okay, especially in journalism, we want to give the news at the first. So what happened was, he posted it on a Twitter handle saying that rest in peace president so and so. But later on, his son called him up and said, Mr. Rajdeep Sardesai, my dad is still in critical condition, he is not dead, and how can a journalist like you, without cross checking, how can you post it? Okay, so later on, again, the very next moment, after some time, he has to post one more Twitter account saying that, my deep apologies, I know that Mr. President is not there, and I don't know how I fall prey into a fake news anta avare baritare. That means a journalist par excellence, okay, is India's very noted journalist, very now one of the topest journalists, antavrge janagalu fool ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, just imagine the condition of people like us. Okay, people, even we are educated, I'm just giving an example what are the categories which comes under anta, but there are many people who can commit these kind of mistakes which can be unrepairable. Okay, ಒಂದ್ಸಲಿ ಬರ್ದ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀವಿ, ನಾವೇನೋ ತಪ್ಪು ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡು ಏನೋ ಬರ್ದ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಬಟ್ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಸ್ಪಾಯಿಲ್ ದ ವೆರಿ ಸೊಸೈಟಿ. ಅಪ್ಪಿ ತಪ್ಪಿಸು ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ, ಒನ್ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಟಿ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ರೇಪ್ಡ್ ದಿಸ್ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಟಿ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಅಂತ ಬರ್ದ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ. ದೇ ಡೋಂಟ್ ನೋ ಹೂ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಡನ್, ದೇ ಡೋಂಟ್ ಸ್ಪೀಕ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಮೆನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ವಿಮೆನ್ ದೇರ್, ದೇ ಡೋಂಟ್ ಸ್ಪೀಕ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದ ಜೆಂಡರ್, ದೇ ಬ್ರಿಂಗ್ ದ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಟಿ ದೇರ್. Okay, whether irrespective of whichever community they belong to, a girl has been raped, right? So how can you do this kind of error? Okay, this is, and ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, communal violence ಗಳು ಶುರು ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Okay, that's what I'm telling you, that people use this social media for their own purpose. They want to do some propaganda. They want to do the society. They want to just divide it in terms of name, in terms of caste, in terms of religion. They have been doing all these things. Okay, this is an error thing. Then this is called as a partisan. Okay, partisan is a situation of fact checking where the same picture will be used by different contextually. Okay, this particular person, ಹಾಕಿದಾನೆ first Delhi ಅಂತ. Okay, Delhi may that person was standing like this ಅಂತ. ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ ಕಡೆ ಬಿಹಾರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ ಕಡೆ ಕಲ್ಕಟ್ಟಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂತ. The same picture, you might have seen that ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಮದರ್ದು ಪಿಕ್ಚರ್ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರು. Okay, BJP party had posted one particular picture which we cracked it, which said that ಒಂದೇ ಮದರು ಮಕ್ಳುಗಳು ಮಾತ್ರ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. Okay, the thing is they have photoshopped it. Okay, the same lady, they have used it for the political agenda where the mother is blessing her son for election winning. Okay, winning an election. Later on, when we saw the social media handle of the particular political party BJP was shown that ಒಂದೇ ಅಮ್ಮ ಎಲ್ಲದರಲ್ಲೂ ಮಕ್ಳುಗಳು ಮಾತ್ರ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. How is it possible? This is what you call as a partisan, where you use the same kind of a picture but for different context. But ultimately, when we did the fact checking, we got to know that it was not in India. Okay, it was from Pakistan. So ನೀವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ, ಇದನ್ನ ಬೆಂಗಾಲಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕ್ತೀರಾ, ಇದನ್ನ ಮೈಸೂರಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕ್ತೀರಾ, ಇದನ್ನ ಯಾವ್ದೊಂದು ಉತ್ತರ ಪ್ರದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕ್ತೀರಾ, and you tend to believe that, see, being in India, how this person can stand on the Indian flag, because you don't know how to cross check it. You don't know how things can fall. And the only purpose is you don't think. Okay, you just want to follow it. On the bandit action, we try to pass it on to my friends. See how the things have happened. You're creating a panic there. So it's also one of the situations where people try to do the thing. Then you have got something called a conspiracy theory. This is very common. Conspiracy theory. I'm just giving an example of our Mysore city only. Last year when we did this polio drop anta aitala, we were administering the polio drop to the children. So one family went, okay, with due respect to the family. One family couple went, took the child around 2-3 years child, and it was been administered the polio drop. Okay, polio drop Axdro. By the time they went home, the child couldn't breathe properly and it died. Okay. So, papu, that we are sorry about that incident. Okay. The very next moment, the parents posted the picture of the child and they wrote a note saying that just because we went to the polio drop, we got the baby administered the polio drop and it died. Please don't go and get the children administered. Don't administer the polio drops. But it becomes a conspiracy. Just because it has happened to my family, I can understand. Later on, when the medical checkup was been done, it got to know that it had as heart attack. It was because not of the polio drop, but it was because of the heart problem what the child had. So what happens here is, ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಇನ್ಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ನ ತಗೊಂಡು ನಾನು ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಜನಗಳಿಗೂ ಇದು ಹಾಳು ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಮಾಡೋದು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ. ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಯು ಕಾಲ್ as conspiracy theory, where you don't want good things to happen not only to me but not for everybody. For example, ಹೇಳಿದಲ್ಲ ಇಂಡಿಗೋದಲ್ಲ ಆಯ್ತಲ್ವಾ, you might be knowing that Indigo incident also, where a passenger was been hit by the attendant. Okay, flight attendant ಯಾರೋ ಒಬ್ರು ಹೊಡೆದ್ಬಿಟ್ರು ಯಾರಿಗೆ, ಪ್ಯಾಸೆಂಜರ್ಸ್ಗೆ, by mistake. He also spoke something and the flight attendant got angry, which he shouldn't be. Okay, that's a wrong thing. You can't beat the passenger. So ಆ ಪಿಕ್ಚರ್ ನ ಯಾರೋ ಒಬ್ರು ಕ್ಲಿಕ್ ಅಂತ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು, you know how the social media is. As soon as he got down from in the airport, he posted on his Facebook saying that Indigo is not a good airways to travel. They don't treat people very friendly ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಒಂದು ಆಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟ. So there was a crisis communication. People stopped going. People started canceling the air ticket of Indigo because they didn't want it to fly, because they thought they'll be beaten there like them, like the same thing. So because of Indigo's crisis, other airways got peak, in the sense Go Air started giving what you call lesser price. Okay, the Air India started getting the more passengers, because what happened, Indigo is one of the very competent airways in the country. Okay, private airways, when you look into the thing, Indigo has got in the price wise, in the customer service wise, it's a very good. But just this small incident happened and the whole conspiracy was against the Indigo. So Indigo was targeted here. So these kind of situations does happen in the country in the form of social media, which you may not be aware of, which comes to your mobile, but we may not be aware. So, but it comes under the category of conspiracy theory. Then pseudoscience, all our doctors, even my mother was a doctor at the time of Corona. Okay, she said, you need to have haldi milk, you need to have this jaggery, you need to have everybody, because whether you like it or not. She says she saw it on TV. Okay, she says, I saw it on TV and you have to drink this kashaya. Whether you like it or not, you have to drink. So the thing is, there are many people who get carried away by this kind of a pseudoscience. So whenever these kind of information related to health, related to investment comes to, you should see who is the source. Okay, the particular thing is yaar kalsta idare anna tumma important. So this was the first one, was the fake news. Second thing was from Nanavati Hospital. Nanavati Hospital is the India's biggest hospital, the best hospital, you've got the best doctors there. So anything which comes from the proper source, like the government orders ಗಳಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಈಗ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ಓಪನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, from tomorrow school is going to happen. But who has got the information? That's not there. People said Karnataka is going to be ಬಂದ್ ಅಂತ ಮೊನ್ನೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾತಾಡುದು, but official order ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ. So these are the kind of information where you try to manipulate the things. And this is misinformation, where a picture was being posted and they said, see how beautiful the stadium is, it's in Manipur ante yaro bardru, adanna ellaru jana share madodu. People started sharing that information, saying that it is a very beautiful place. But when we did the fact check, it got to know that it was not from Manipur, but it was from Russia. Okay, but sharing these kind of information is a misinformation. You are misleading it, but it is not going to harm anybody. Yaar the life threat illa, adu yado religion ge threat illa, yado ondu gender ge threat illa, fine. Okay, just share the picture. Okay, fine. But if you just imagine a communal violence in that place, just imagine a particular community beating some other community person there, or some women beating a man, or a man beating a woman. How could have been the situation? So this is what is supposed to be done. So this is about misinformation. Then you have the bogus, again, lighting the lamp. Okay, the clapping hands, what we all did. Okay, that can also be, and the people tend to believe. Okay, you need to go and bow head in front of somebody. You know, a lot of bogus things which happens, and these are the thing. Okay, so whom do we trust? Okay, as I told, there are many things which you need to understand. Okay, with all these things, you need to understand that you need to check the source. You need to verify the source, and also you need to check the evidences. In media, we have something called as fact checks. We do have something called as the ANICE formula, what we have produced or what we have done. So ANICE source is something, ANICE, which stands for authoritative. You need to understand where the information comes from. Who is the sender? Whether the person who sent to you is a knowledgeable person, whether he is an expert. If Sapna sends something on management, it can't be true because I'm not a management expert. If it comes from Sumangala ma'am, obviously it is an information authentic one because she is a subject expert. She can speak about that. So there are many people who will speak on the subject which they are not expertise in. So you need not have to believe whatever they say. Okay, then as I told, whether it has been named, many of the information comes without name. You should understand. Okay, without name barutte, without logos barutte. Okay, that you have to be very important. Then whether it has been independent. Okay, independent is something you need to check the source. Okay, you have to check the source and see whether it is coming from any independent source or not. Then corroborated is where you try to claim that the source is true and all, and whether you have to cross check the documents. You need to see, and then journalists gal ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ. Okay, that's the job of the journalist. But as a community or as a person or as an educated person, whenever things comes to you on your mobile, at least think, okay, whether it is going to serve the purpose. At least ಅಷ್ಟು think ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ half of the job of the misinformation will be solved. Then you have the evidences. Okay, that's also very much important. This is the last slide. Again, as I told you, they speak about the Lord Macaulay, where they say that he's an historian. He says that India is such a country, cultural country, education country. Okay, should be very lucky to born in country. And the ಕೊನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೀತಾರೆ ನೋಡಿ. Okay, the truth about India. Share as much as possible. ಅಂತ ನೀವು ಬಂದಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣನೇ, okay, as soon as you see the word share as much as possible, let every Indian know, let every person know. ಅಂತ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಯಾವಾಗ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, you should understand that it is a propaganda material. Okay, it is not something which has been done for any good purpose, but it is to manipulate and also to do some kind of a propaganda for the person. So this is what I am about to say. Any questions on this or any discussions on this? We can just take it up. Yeah, I've just done it very fast, but anyways, it's thing. Usually I take it about 12:45, but anyways, it's because we wanted to have more discussions. I've just kept it at 12:15. So any questions, we can just put it on the chat, or if you can unmute yourself and you can speak. Or ಮಾತಾಡೋದು ಕೇಳಿಸುತ್ತಾ ನಮಗೆ? Okay, fine.
As a journalist, you can make a fact check. How a layman can make the fact check?
That's what, ma'am. Okay, thank you. The thing is, the main purpose of this factual is that only, ma'am, where we are trying to educate the masses about this. And as I told, maybe I might have forgotten to tell you in the beginning only, that this particular session has got 3 modules. The very first module, what I discussed today, what I spoke about today, mainly was on information. I wanted you people to, generally, we wanted the people to understand what information is and how different kind of informations are there and what are fake news. In the second module, we have something called as a critical thinking. Critical thinking is where we speak about the bias, how people can be biased about one particular issue and other particular. Third is what we have, this hands-on training. Hands-on training module is a module where we want to train the students, where we want to train the participants about using the mobile, and we have certain softwares which can be put on your mobile, and as soon as some information or a video comes to you, just by checking there on that particular software, you'll get to know one video video you can easily find it out. Okay, that is the third stage. But the very first stage, what I've discussed here about only about the information. Whatever information which comes to you may not be true. Majority of the content are fake. And what are the different kinds of fake content which comes to you? Maybe in the coming sessions or maybe in the other sessions, if you come to know about the hands-on training about it. So anybody, even when it comes to, even a particular morning message comes to you, you can cross-check and make it out where it has been generated. Okay, there are many different kinds of software which has been produced by, which has been done by Alt News, and the Alt News is the India's first fact checker institute. Okay, so they have come up with some small apps which can be downloaded on your mobile. So as soon as a particular video comes, and if you know that there is something fishy about it, you just post that video on that particular app. It will give you the cross check when it was created, a 2014 video, where it was there, the date, the time, how many times it has been circulated, where all it has been circulated, what context it has been circulated. So that and all it will be able to understand. So that's the reason I told you that it is a step by step. So once you complete all these 3 stages, okay, even a common man, need not have to be a journalist only. Even any common man will be able to understand whether it's a fake or it's not a fake content. So that is the whole process. It requires 3 stages. So what we have learned is all 3 stages. And as you told, depending upon the time, depending upon the resource limitations, I've just taken up only the first module. Maybe in the coming days, if the students are interested, we can have one more session where we'll have the hands-on training, where I'll tell you how the app can be used with some pictures. We have all the examples. We have some examples, and the students can test it on their mobile itself, and they'll get to know the facts. So this is about the training. Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, there is in a chat box, I have asked the question. First question, how can we cross-verify the actual information?
Actual information. That's what I told you. You need to go through this ANAIS. ANAIS means authoritative. I told you about that particular thing. Can we go back to the slide, Govindraj, if you don't mind? The last slide, if you can go. ANAIS policy, okay, authoritative, whether it is an independent one, authoritative, whether it is independent, and the note kolbekagate, and who is the source, where it comes from. Okay, you need to do the cross checking. But as I told you, it is not very easy. Okay, it's a learning process. See, this is what the thing with a ANAIS source, where it says authoritative, whether the person who is sending it, if Sapna is sending something about management, you need not to believe it because somebody might have sent it. But if it comes from the person subject, that means you need to understand about the sources. It can be about the person, whether they have been named or not. That should also be questioned. Then the evidence. Do you have any evidence, strong evidence to prove whether it is right or wrong? Okay, so that has to be done.
Another question posted by Dr. Nagesh from MIT. How can we come to know that the image is edited or not?
The morphed one. That's what I told you, right? We have
edited or not?
Yeah. That's what. Thank you, Nagesh. The thing is, we have certain softwares, like we have got Google reverse search, we have got Yandex search and all. As I told you, maybe in the coming sessions, what we can do is we can go in for a hands-on training where we'll expose you. We'll just show you about the different kinds of app which is available, which can be easily downloaded on your laptops and on your mobiles, where any picture, just as I was telling your ma'am, that as soon as the picture comes, if you have a doubt and if you think that somewhere the picture doesn't look good or maybe something fishy is about it, just put that particular picture, the chosen picture or doubtful picture on that particular app. It will show you the correct thing, where the real image is, whether the eyes is different, whether the nose is different, whether the face is different, so whether the body is different. So you can easily make out how many pixels have been used, how many videos have been made to use this particular collage. All those things can be identified. So for that, you need to have that hands-on training. So that is the third stage of the session. Indirectly asking you people to conduct that also, so that I'll have one more sessions with you. That's it.
You have lots of appreciation in going in.
Thank you.
People have been appreciating your things,
Thank you.
Your knowledge.
Thank you. Questions? Yeah, students can ask anything. Kannada keli pa, Kannada matartini.
Can you name the apps where we can?
I told you, right? Reverse search, Google reverse search, Yandex. All hakonde. Ade really otta idru. She was just, she is reading it out. You just come. The videos ke bere. We have got different kind of videos ke bere irutte, photos ke bere irutte. Okay, we'll just let you know, ma'am. Aisha ma'am is there. Okay, fine. Okay, so we have different things, but then there are application process also. There are, like as I told you, Boom Live and Boom, and then we have got Alt News. These are the people who are certified fact checkers. Even BBC also has. And one more important thing is, even the newsrooms also have this one options called as fact checkers. So people who have been trained here, even the audio can also be checked in now. Okay, we also have a provision where you can also check whether it is Sapna's voice, it is Sushma's voice, or whether it is Sumangala ma'am's voice. Voice check kuda madbodu, because I told you, you'll be using some real video. Aisha ma'am the video ಆಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು Sumangali ma'am the video voice ಕೊಡ್ಬೋದು. So I can easily find out whether it's real Aisha ma'am speaking or Sumangali ma'am speaking anta. Okay, so that way. But as I told you, hands-on experience would be better, because instead of me telling and just naming some of the apps what I told you just now, when I show you and when I apply those techniques and softwares to that, easily you will get it. And how easily it is being cropped, ellanu gottagogudu. You can make the pictures differentiate there itself. Yeah, any questions? I like boys to ask questions, because they are the most violent and easy distributors of content. Okay, I just want to know whether you people have come across any kind of this false context or any kind of the fake news which you people have fallen prey for. Just during Corona time only, yadaru nimge incidents which has come to your mobile phones which you thought it's true, then later on you got to know it's a wrong thing. Any of the incidents which you can mention, or if you want to share your experiences, you are welcome to do that. Management boys, I've heard girls and boys, they speak a lot. Okay, they don't allow anybody to speak.
Expecting more to get information on how to find out the false information, but the first session was more on
what is false information, types of false information.
False information.
Yes.
So probably
we'll have one.
do another session.
We'll plan it out, ma'am. And as I told you, we usually do it for one whole day.
Hello.
Okay, morning sessions we usually do.
Hello.
Yeah, tell me, sir.
Yes. First of all, good evening to everybody present here. And the section which I listened, I started the section at very early, and it was a very good section. Yeah, I congratulate all of you. You have done a very good homework. You have done research and everything. And yes, you are enlightening people about the fake news. But I have a question.
Yeah, please. Go ahead.
So nowadays we are seeing that in social media, we are lot of fake news are viraling. But which we have to trust? We have to trust news channels, newspapers, or social medias. Nowadays, even news channels are covering a false news. Last month, I will say you an incident. I saw a news channel. It is a very good, reputed news channel. It covered a section of half an hour that now North Korea President Kim Jong-un has died. So what is the conclusion of this? But if I searched and if I did homework, it was a fake news.
Yeah.
So for which we have to trust?
That's what I'm telling you, because as I told you, even a senior journalist or maybe even the news channels are been getting carried away by the fake news. That means they are not doing their homework properly. In the melee of giving the breaking news or in the melee of getting more eyeballs and all. So this is happening. But now the very question is about the integrity of the news channel, at the same time about how the news is being carried out. Okay, now what has happened here is even news channels have become much more aware. The reason why we are doing this kind of workshop, Mr. Siddiqui, is to create an awareness. Yes, people like the news channels or people, very learned channels, have been doing a mistake. Just imagine the condition of the people here. So what I would suggest here is the news channels have to have more of a fact checkers. Ultimately, they have to cross check the information before going on air. Only thing what they can do is, whenever the reporter sends the information, or maybe the stingers send the information to the news channel, it has to be cross-checked. It has to see from where the proper source has come in. If you don't do your homework properly, obviously you will be cutting a sorry figure in front of the audience. At the same time, when you go on air, okay, the very big thing is if you go on air, obviously there are many channels who have come on live and they have asked apologies also. Okay, asking an apology is not a very good thing. The only thing is you need to be more learned, and you need to keep the departments of your reporters or maybe the other people more informed. Maybe they need very good trainings also. Maybe many of the journalists may not be upgraded with their trainings. So I think regular training, okay, in the on-the-job trainings has to be conducted with organizations like BBC. Okay, they have their own institute which is doing this fake fact check institutions are there across the globe now, and BBC is one of our partner also. So maybe these kind of sessions will help the journalist to be aware. Next time, maybe he might have done a mistake right now. Maybe next time when you do these kind of information, you'll try to cross-check it in a very prominent manner so that the things doesn't go wrong. That could be one of the things. And it is also about a journalist. If I'm breaking a particular news, I need to be more conscious because my name is involved, my organization name is involved. Okay, my integrity is involved because people will not believe Sapna tomorrow if I keep sending the false news. That means I'm a bad journalist. So the thing is, you need to do your homework properly. And as I told, every organization should have these kind of workshop on a regular intervals so that you can be upgraded. Okay, there are many techniques which have fallen. There are many techniques which has come in. So you need to be upgraded. That's one of the solution what can be planned out at this particular point of time. Yeah. Siddiqui?
Ma'am, there is another question.
Yeah.
How can a common man do this, ma'am? Because it's just becoming a forward habit.
That's what.
Just to
That's what. Yeah, fine. That's what I'm telling you. The thing is, if I come to know, if I get to know that it's a wrong thing, only thing what you can do as a common man is don't forward it. By not forwarding a certain things, you are saving 256 people's mindset. Okay, so the only thing is understand. See, it's not possible to tell everything in a thing. And as I told, we have started it from 2018. This fight against misinformation, fight against disinformation thing we have started in India from 2018. Okay, so what we can do is, as an educated, you can't educate everybody. Maybe if you can educate your family, maybe you can educate your close circle, that itself will be a thing. Now we have started a course, or maybe we have started, it's just a beginning. It will go on for another 5 years, 6 years for people to become much more, aware about all these things. That has to be questioned. So you need to be more aware of it. That's it. Yeah. Self-regulation. Okay, what we call it as a self-regulation, where you don't post certain things which you are doubtful. Half of the job is done there. Yeah.
Can there be a deterrent and punishment for starting?
Yeah, I was expecting that question because I was looking into the legal aspect of it. Yes. Yeah. Thank you for the question.
From St. Joseph.
St. Joseph. Okay. Thank you. Thanks a lot for the question, because I was looking for somebody to ask me because I didn't wanted to speak about that. Yes. One thing why India is being bombarded with so much of the misinformation, why people are getting carried away so much, is because there are no legal bindings. Okay, the constitution or maybe the law in the country doesn't have any strict regulation. The only country in the whole world which has got a very strong regulation is France. Okay, France, between your country, they don't have any mechanism, they don't have any legal bindings. You go scot-free. Though we have our cyber cell, though we have the cyber security fighting all these kind of things, but the action or the law regulations are not so strict. People get away with fine. People get away with 10 days of imprisonment. Okay, yesterday you might have seen the incident where an hacker was being caught by the police. Okay, and they asked him, okay, after 6 months, what is it going to do? You know, man, what is it? Nang barad onde hacking sir. ನೀವು 6 ತಿಂಗಳು ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ 6 ತಿಂಗಳ ಬಿಡಿ ನಾನು ಮಾಡಿದೆ hacking. Okay, so there are people, that the thing is, people know that the laws are not so strict. And even in India also, there is a need. Okay, that's the reason why we are doing all this kind of workshop, because we want these kind of debates to be happening on the social media, rather than speaking about Aishwarya Rai, rather than speaking about Virat Kohli or Anushka Sharma's pregnancy. We want people to discuss about these kind of things. That's the reason why I'm targeting our youngsters, because you are the people where you can start a discussion. Okay, you can have a discussion, you can have a separate page where like-minded people will join you. Okay, you can come up with a conclusion. People can come up with a solution for this. So that's the reason I told you that we have started a program. We have started this kind of a campaigning on this misinformation, where people will start joining us. Everybody may not join, but at least a like-minded people like you, or like-minded people like you, where you raise the question about the legalities. Let's come up with this. Let's discuss on this. Ultimately, it will lead to some kind of a resolution, some kind of a movement. Okay, like what happened with the rape victim Nirbhaya case. Okay, everybody started fighting. Everybody started writing on their wall. Everybody started fighting for that. Even today, farmers strike. Tomorrow, we are going on a strike. I don't know who the person is, because we are not from a farming family. But at least we have a soft corner for the farmer community. So that way, you are making a Bandh a success. That itself is a message. Okay, that means you are with the farmer community. Not only Indians, even the people from abroad are also supporting them. Okay, this is the power of social media. So the main purpose of targeting my students and my youngster community is because I want you people to speak, because we'll be there, will not be there tomorrow. Okay, it's your society, it's you people who have to bring in the change. Change will not happen in a day or two. It will take years together, but somewhere something has to start. Right now, do something. It'll mount up. It'll add up to the fire. It'll go on beating up. It'll go on taking up the suggestions, solutions, and all. So somewhere it will be made as a law. Maybe 1 or 2 years, it will be made a law. So this is what the main thing is. I'm giving you the food for thought to think about legal activities. And as I told, well, France is the only country. In India, there are no legal bindings. That's the reason why it is bombarded with so many things. Nobody to restrict also. So nobody can question. That's about it.
India has so many laws, but
yes,
not to be implemented.
Not to be implemented. Yeah, it's all theoretically. Okay, the majority of the things are theoretically. Practically, they're not applying it. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Please go ahead, sir.
Hear me, ma'am?
Good evening. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, sir. Sorry.
Good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yeah. You can. Go ahead.
Thanking you, all the I mean, in the dais, whoever it is, your program was very, very nice. I really appreciate your program, but one suggestion, ma'am.
Yeah, sure.
In the next session, you should bring more facts, how we can curtail this kind of fake news. Sure. And I'm a retired deputy secretary from Vidhan Sabha, and I'll be joining your program next time also if you conduct this kind of session.
Sure. It's a pleasure to have you.
Great, madam. Your program was very nice. I once again thank all the learned people in your team. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Surely as I told you, this was just the first session, because without telling the students or the participants about the information, how it is being spread, I can't directly go to the apps and the hands-on training. So the very first thing was to make the people understand what information is and whether the information what they're getting is true or not, and how the bifurcation of the information could be done. There is a news, there is an opinion, there is a fact, there is analysis. So there are many things to be called as an information. So first, if you have a diversion and if you have a bifurcation on your mind that these are the 5 things, then later on I can go to the next step. Okay, so that was the reason why I kept it very simple and with certain examples to make them understand. I'll take your suggestions and next time we'll see that it will be incorporated.
Sure, ma'am. Sure. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Good day.
Don't have any more questions.
Okay, fine. Yeah, that's okay. Not an issue.
Madam will concise what she said, and then you can do the vote of thanks.
Okay, fine. Thank you. Okay, it's audible.
Good afternoon, one and all. I take this honored privilege to give a brief report about today's webinar. The webinar started with saying the good information helps the individual to understand the challenges. So in today's digital era, identifying good information is a major confronting issue which needs to be discussed. Power of information is leading the entire world, hence it's highly critical to evaluate the authenticity of the information. So today's webinar is one such attempt where Dr. Sapna MS has taken an initiative to give very valuable information about identifying the fake information. Dr. Sapna is a trainer from Factshala and India Media Literacy Network, and she has been spreading the message about identifying the fake news and how to critically evaluate the right information. So she took the entire webinar in 3 stages. So the first stage is about the information, how to identify the right information, and about the various types of information. And finally, she gave the information about critical thinking and how to evaluate the information. She also highlighted about the info literacy, which involves checking the facts, information, analysis, and evaluation. Then again, she unveiled about the various technical jargons, which were very informative, which are used in the social media platforms, like the filter bubble, where the same kind of content being coming again and again, and the click bits. So the more times you click, it'll take you to some other links. and also about the satire or hoax, error or partisan and other technical jargons. She also highlighted about various softwares that are available to identify the fake news or the information. So one such software is Google Reverse Search, which will check the authenticity of both the videos and the audios. At the end, she concluded by saying that good information helps to improve the health, personality development, and develops the knowledgeable society. I thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
I would, Julie, who was from St. Philomena's, I just, while telling, I told St. Joseph, and she's from Philomena's. So there's a misinformation.
Okay. Yeah, you can go ahead. Speak a little bit loudly so that it will catch.
Good afternoon, one and all. Myself, Spurti from second year MBA, take this opportunity to propose vote of thanks for all those who have made this webinar a grand success. At the outset, I would like to thank Dr. M.S. Sapna, Associate Professor, Department of Journalism and Mass Communication, University of Mysore, for delivering very informative lecture and enlightening us almost fake news and content on social media. On behalf of Yuvaraja College and Department of Management Science, I thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. It's my pleasure. Thank you.
I thank our beloved principal, Dr. Yashoda BM, for encouraging and supporting us in organizing this webinar and making it a great success. On behalf of all the faculty members and students of Management Science, I thank you, ma'am. It's my duty to thank Dr. H.C. Devaraja Gowda, Administrative Officer, Dr. H.B. Mahesh, Controller of Examinations, and Dr. R. Vidya, IQAC, Coordinator, for their continuous support in all our academic endeavors. On behalf of our department, I thank you once again. I take this opportunity to thank Dr. S.C. Chandranayak, Director, IOE, Vignan Bhavan, University of Mysore, for providing the digital platform and technical support to organize this webinar and make it as a remarkable one. Thank you, sir. It's my pleasure to thank Dr. C. Sumangala, Head of the Department, Department of Management Science, who is always very active and supportive for all the department activities. I thank you, ma'am. I thank all the faculty members of our department for guiding, motivating, and inspiring us to organize this webinar successfully. I also thank all the teaching and non-teaching staff and all those who have directly or indirectly supported and extended their cooperation for making this webinar a great success and most remarkable one. I thank all the participants of this webinar for their active participations and interaction by sparing their precious time. Last but not the least, I would like to thank student organizers who have taken the initiative to make this webinar. My fellow students and friends, I thank you, and I thank you one and all.
Thank you. Thank you. Wind up? Yeah, thank you. Yeah, done. Okay, okay. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. I should thank you, ma'am. Thanks a lot. It was a pleasure speaking to all.